Hello, in this video, I would like to talk about EBIT over revenue percent change to see whether the efficiency of Apple changes over time. Based on that calculation, I would like to calculate EBIT over revenue, which shows me what percentage of revenue Apple can keep for lenders and equity holders. Based on this ratio, I would like to forecast earnings before interest and taxes for next 10 years. And then I would like to assume that we will pay the taxes on that before we distribute the money to our lenders and equity holders. Let's get started. EBIT is located, as we know, in income statement. And you can see here operating income of EBIT for Apple. 1988 was the first year that Apple was publicly traded. Was around $620 million. So what I'm gonna do is I will divide $620 million by the total revenue. Okay, and then this will give me a percentage. So what you can do is basically you can just click on under Home tab. You can click on percent symbol here to show this percentage. All right, so what I can do is I can drag this formula to the right, and we can see what has been happening to Apple. So you can see that most recent 12 months, Apple kept 25% of the revenue after paying all those direct and indirect expenditures for other stakeholders such as paying for government, to the lenders, and equity holders. Okay, so this is good information to know. Also, I would like to know what is the percent change for this ratio. What I'm gonna do is I will just copy this, Control-C, click over here, Control-V, and I will calculate the percent change to see whether there is any kind of trend for this ratio. To be able to do that, I need to skip the first year because I need to have at least 1 year of historical data. Basically, what I'm going to do is current percentage, which is 12%, 1989, minus previous percentage, which is 1988, divided by previous percentage, which is 1988. You can see that the first year it dropped by 21%. Right down corner, when you see this black cross, you can just drag it. I'm not going to calculate for the last 12 months because, again, I don't have full year of 2020 data. So I will just stay right here. So you can see that these are my percentages. So under Insert tab, you can click on Scatter Plot. And then you can show here scatter with smooth lines and markers. Quickly, I'm not going to spend time on titling this and putting legends on, but I want you to see one thing. So you can see at the beginning, Apple was not having any issue or improvement in terms of this profitability measure. However, this period right here, 1990s, company had hard time actually even here that profitability dropped significantly. And then it increased a lot with the new products that they launched. And then most recent years looks like companies behaving more stable starting from this point right here. So 0.18, which we are right now in 0.31. So last 13, 14 years, company is doing pretty good. Okay, so now what am I gonna do? I will go back to my intrinsic value calculations. So, and I know the base year, I will assume that last year is the base year. Go back to my income statement. And the base year is basically negative 8%. So it looks like last year, this measure shrank. So I would just choose that as a base year. Now, the future years, I would like to create a distribution. However, in this kind of cases, as I told you, there's a significant difference between historical data and most recent data. You may not want to try to find distribution for all of your data because, again, you can see that this is completely different than past. But in Crystal Ball, you need to have at least 15 points, data points, to be able to fit a distribution. So either you can go back to Capital IQ and download quarterly data and fit distribution to quarterly data, or you may just want to use empirical distribution for this because I have only 14 years. So what I'm going to do is I will just go back to my intrinsic value tab right here. I'll go to Crystal Ball, define assumption, distribution gallery, show all the distributions, and I would choose custom distribution here, and then click OK. So you could enter the values and probabilities one by one here, but I don't want to do that. That will take some time. Basically, you can just click on show less or show more, and then you can see here that load data tab. Just click on that, and then you'll see this icon, and then go back to your income statement. And here I will highlight my last 14 years of data that I think they are more relevant. Here, I will just start from -8%, and then I will just highlight until I think that numbers completely change. You can see that I'm not going to include 191%, right? Click OK, and click OK again. So you can see this is distribution that I would like to use. You can go down to -20%. You can go up to 40%. So I'm going to click OK, and you can see that this is 6.40%. So I'm wondering why they are both same. I guess they're very close to each other, and yeah, so you can see that they are very close to each other. They are not the same. I just want to make sure that you don't think that these values and these values are same, because you can see the distributions are different as well. So again, I will click on this cell, Crystal Ball. I would like to copy. Again, you cannot do Control-C, Control-V. You need to do Crystal Ball copy, and select the area that I would like to paste. And I will say here, Crystal Ball paste. So now you can see that. And then after year 10, I will assume that the efficiency measure won't change. So it will stabilize. I will just use 0% here. All right, so based on these numbers, now I can calculate EBIT over revenue. Before though, what I need to do is get my base year is equal to income statement, EBIT over revenue. Let's go to most recent data. Which is right here, 25%, enter. And then I will forecast the future values of this, which is gonna be base year times 1 plus the rate that we just calculated. Enter. Right down corner, black cross, you can just drag it all the way. So you can see that we are assuming that Apple will keep more and more money on average because it's getting more and more efficient, okay? Now, I would like to calculate my EBIT, which is going to be EBIT over revenue times the revenue. That will give me my EBIT, $67 billion for the base year. And I can just go to the right, and you can see that this will go up to, based on our forecast, $237.8 billion. Now, let's pay the taxes and see what's left over. To be able to do that, EBIT times 1 minus tax rate that we calculated over here. So this is leftover money after paying taxes. Right down corner, when you see black cross, drag. So this is our assumption that Apple will keep $175 billion, almost $176 billion, out of $521 billion of revenue after paying taxes, direct expenditures, and indirect expenditures. That's it for this video. Until next video, enjoy valuations.